about the company that I spoke with. Okay, because it's in the pack.
Greetings, folks at home, those in the audience. Thank you for joining us for our board meeting this evening. I would think this is the first official board meeting of the new school year, correct? Greetings, good to see everybody. That amazing staff in the back. Dr. Eccles, you do not hold us back with your team, right? I feel like I don't know what's going on in that back, but thank you for home. Thank you, those at home. Thank you, board. Good to be back amongst my colleagues. Mr. Secretary, how you doing, sir?
Good to see you, sir.
Hey, good to be seen.
Whenever you're ready.
All right, well, roll call, sir.
Vice President Bowman.
Present.
Treasurer David Smith.
Present.
President Garrett.
Present.
I am here. Trustee Hannah.
Present.
Trustee Terry.
Present.
And Trustee Turpin.
Present.
Sir, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I need a motion on the floor to amend the agenda to remove under the awards and recognition, the PSD Joe Longhammer Attendance Initiative. I need to remove that off the agenda.
So moved.
So moved by Trustee Bowman, supported by Trustee David Smith. Questions, comments, or concerns about the removal? We will probably have that presentation on at a later time. The kids couldn't formulate their schedule from what I was told. Okay. Roll call, Mr. Secretary.
Yes, sir. Treasurer David Smith.
Yes.
President Garrett.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Hannah.
Yes.
Trustee Terry.
Yes.
Trustee Turpin.
Yes.
And Vice President Bowman.
Yes.
Sir, to amend the agenda, I pass 7-0.
All right, thank you. With that amendment, I need a motion on the floor to approve the amended agenda.
So moved. Support.
So moved by Trustee Hannah, supported by Trustee Bowman. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes, President Garrett.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Hannah.
Yes.
Trustee Terry.
Yes.
Trustee Turpin.
Yes.
Vice President Bowman.
Yes.
Treasurer David Smith.
Yes.
Sir, approve agenda 7-0.
All right, thank you. We're going to move down to awards and recognition under 2A LEAP wrap-up video. I'm going to turn the meeting over into the hands of the superintendent.
Thank you. We are so excited about the opportunities we were able to afford our students over the summer months. And there was a video that was created with the LEAP program. And I have to thank Trustee Hannah for being the front person to ensure that the program was launched in the high school with our middle school students over the summer months. And we have a short video clipping that we would like to share with the community as well as with the trustees. And then I would like for Trustee Hannah to talk about next steps as it relates to moving forward with the program in the school year. Here's the volume.
My name is Lomas Brown, former Detroit Lion, and I have a program through my Lomas Brown Junior Foundation called the LEAP Camp. And LEAP stands for Learn, Earn, and Play. It's a camp, an educational camp where we combine nutrition, we have play, we have so many different activities that we do. We have a graduation, we do drones, 3D printing and imaging. So we're trying to give the kids a whole bunch of things in a short period of time, but we're trying to open their minds up to different opportunities in technology and just in general, period. This has been just a successful program. The city of Pontiac, Pontiac High School, the staff, everybody, they've been so supportive of us. They really jumped in and really rolled up their sleeves and got busy helping us to provide this for the kids. So I have to thank them. And then I have to thank my sponsors. We want to continue to do this. This is what the Lomas Brown Junior Foundation wants to do. We want to do camps year round.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you, Superintendent Williams.
It was a pleasure helping the Lomas Brown Foundation along with PCIP to bring this camp to the high school. The students were so engaged in this program. They loved it. The funny part was they didn't know who Lomas Brown was, of course. So he asked if they were familiar with him, with the Lions team, and knew who he was, and they was like no. So he had to Google himself for them to see who he was and that he was actually an ex NFL Super Bowl champion player. So he's been so passionate about working with the city of Pontiac, working with our kids in the school district for a while now. So he was just excited to bring his team to the school. The kids were engaged in so many different activities over the 4-week time period. One of the programs that they did that the kids really enjoyed most was the drone training. That allowed them to learn how to fly drones. And so much so that with their program, if they continued with, I think, a few more weeks of training, they could be eligible to receive a certification in piloting drones. So that was one of the programs that they really was interested in. Even a couple of parents have said initially their child this summer was hesitant about going, but after they participated in this camp, they couldn't stop talking about it. She said the behavior was so good. It was just a difference in this kid's behavior after being a part of this camp. So what they would like to do is offer this programming to the Pontiac School District as an after-school program. So they are working on the proposal as to what that will look like. They will modify the program so that it service the needs of our middle school kids and also our high school kids. So they're working on the days that they will be able to accommodate both and just the logistics of what that could look like. But they are really excited and interested in continuing their work with the Pontiac School District throughout the school year. Thank you.
Awesome. That's it?
That's it.
Okay. Any other comments from any trustees? Go ahead, Vice President.
Trustee, so with the continuation of this program, if it becomes after school, will that give them the time that the children need to get the certification still?
Yes, it would. It would still, I don't know the details of what that would look like, but it will be a continuation. So especially for those kids that participated over the summer, then of course they'll be a little ahead of the kids that start the program in the school year. One of the things I failed to mention is that Mr. Brown and his foundation said he wants this to be an incentive for the kids. He wants to use this as a way to help in support of the teachers so that they can kind of use this to incentivize the kids to do well in school and their behavior so that they can participate and be a part of this program.
Thank you.
Awesome. Any other comments? Okay. Good job. I'm excited about it. When you guys talked about it early on, I'm also a drone pilot. I use it in my business as a photographer. And then I also use it over at the City Hall when we're inspecting fire escapes. But so it's a now business. And it takes about 6 weeks and you get your Part 107 license. And I've seen the courses that the kids were taking. And I mean, it's true that they get at 14, 15 years old to get your Part 107 license. Now you have to be 18 in order to get, a job in it. But to have your Part 107 license and be able to have that money set in the trust by the time you get 18, that'd be a nice little change for you to fly drones around, right? So appreciate it. Thank you so much for being a part of that, and look forward to the presentation for the high school and middle school. Recognition of, we're going to move down to recognition of elected officials. Any in the building? Okay. Good evening, trustees. Good to see you. Good to be back. There's no place like home, and we're going to talk about that in my closing comments, though. No place like home. Motion on the floor to approve the consent agenda.
So move.
So moved by Trustee Bowman, supported by Trustee Davis Smith. Roll call, please.
I'm voting yes. No.
Yes.
Trustee Chair.
Yes.
Trustee Turk.
Yes.
Vice President Bowman.
Yes.
President Davis Smith.
Yes.
President Hill.
Yes.
So it passed. Seven.
All right. Thank you. We're going to move down to the regular working agenda. General Counsel and Human Resources is going to turn the meeting over in the hands of the superintendent.
Thank you. We are excited to bring forth to the board a position that has been needed, and actually an individual has already been performing these duties. for the last 2 years through the bond initiative. The Energy and Technology Innovation Specialist has been discussed amongst the cabinet as well as shared with the president the need for this position. I will turn it over to Mrs. Kellum, who will give you a little bit more insight in regards to the role and responsibility of the individual.
Good evening, everyone. So this is a new job description, Energy and Technology Innovation Specialist. The Energy and Technology Innovation Specialist position shall be a newly created full-time, non-union position with benefits. The responsibilities of this position will be outlined by the Office of Human Resources in collaboration with the Superintendent of Schools. The position will report to the Superintendent of Schools and is charged with brainstorming both short-term and long-term milestones and goals involving energy and technology initiatives. Responsibilities may include proposals, reporting, budgeting, or program development. This position will also oversee the Technology Intergovernmental Agreement, the IGA, with Oakland schools. Funding sources under general funds. Recommendation, it is the recommendation of administration that the Board of Education approve the job description of the Energy and Technology Innovation Specialist for the 22-23 school year. The salary is not on here because it's a salary range, so we're not sure what that range would be yet.
Okay. Any other questions? I'm sorry, are you complete with that, Ms. Kellum?
That completes it,
Okay,
yes.
thank you. Any questions, comments, concerns from the board? Any trustees? Going once? Going twice? Okay. Have a couple of questions. So salary range, right now you're asking the board just to improve the job description?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so not hiring an employee right now?
No,
Or
once the position is approved, it will be posted for 7 days.
Okay.
We'll have it posted for 7 days and we will do interviews.
But are you posting it without the salary range?
No, we'll be posting it with the salary range. And the salary range will be from, I believe, $94,000 to $107,000.
So this is just the job description right now that you all have before you. And we wanted to make sure we vetted the salaries did the analysis that just really came in before we brought this to you all.
Okay, thank you. We're going to move down to Superintendent Teacher Source Contract Renewal. Superintendent?
So we are still having many challenges with our staffing. Yolanda will be able to give you the vacancies and the challenges that we still face that's looming across the state as it relates to certified teachers. We also want to ensure that while we are trying to fill the vacancies, we have a vast number of companies that can provide subs, because with the shortage with teachers, there's also shortages with subs. So we have reviewed the competition in regards to the salaries, as well as other competitive businesses that will be able to bring us in subs on a daily basis for long-term and short-term. But right now, the solution is to try to open up as many opportunities for us to get subs until we can fill these vacancies. And I'll turn it over to you, Ms. Kellum.
Thank you, Superintendent. So this is approval of contract for Sub-Teacher Source. It is a contract renewal. Sub-Teacher Source is a staffing company that is able to provide qualified staff to backfill long-term vacant teaching positions throughout the school buildings, which we are unable to fill with permanent employees. We will utilize them to fill vacancies to ensure positions that cannot be filled with other substitute teaching staffing services on a long-term basis. Funding sources through general funds. It is the recommendation of administration that the Board of Education approve the 22-23 contract renewal for Sub-Teacher Source. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
President,
Superintendent, go ahead.
may I have one word? We do have the salary range, not on the BEAR, but on the actual job description. It is there for you if you for the technology. So they did get it in there, Ms. Callum.
Okay,
It's
thank
just
you.
not on the BEAR.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Any questions about the substitute teacher source contract renewal? Trustee Turpin, then Trustee Terry.
Yes, so can you tell us what the salary range is for the long-term subs or the daily subs, is it different or is it?
It
the
is
same?
different, yes. So long-term subs salary, daily rate is $200 a day. For long-term, that means they have to be in a position for 89 days or more.
To receive the $200?
Correct. They start with $200 a day one, but they will be placed in a long-term position.
So if they don't stay the 89 days, what happens?
Their rate changes. The daily rate changes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Trustee Terry.
I was just wondering, how many of these, I guess, contract houses do we have currently for the
So-
substitute teachers?
If this, currently we have 3. With this approval, if you approve it, it will be 4.
4.
Yes.
And we're still not meeting our needs.
We are not. We are, even though we have these 4 companies, we're still vying for the same substitutes throughout the state of Michigan and through Oakland County. So we're kind of playing a tug of war with other school districts as well. So we actually requested to have our daily rate increased so that we can bring in some more candidates with a higher rate of pay.
Okay. And then just following up with her question, because you mentioned the $200, I'm just going through the documents because that's not what they have detailed in there.
Correct. So they don't pay the full $200. So
Okay.
that's the amount
That's
that,
separate.
that's, yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
First round of questioning. Anybody else before I go to second round?
She's probably gonna, I just want one question.
Trustee Gross.
Thank you. You sent us weekly updates as it pertains to what is needed
Yes, we do.
and where is needed.
Right, per school.
And I know that we're doing what we can with our, is it the parapros, I think? that-
PEA, the teachers.
No, with the parapros that are working with one of the colleges to help them get their certification.
Oh, yes, Davenport.
So that's part
Mhm.
of it too, right?
Correct.
And because we're very low in special ed as well, right?
Yes, paraprofessionals though only can sub in special education classrooms. The substitutes that we have through the companies can do both.
Oh, so parapros can only substitute in special ed?
Yes, were you talking about the program that we have with Davenport where
No, I'm just
they're-
talking about overall where we are, because this is a universal
Mhm,
nationwide problem.
mhm.
And I was going to ask, but then Mr. President will say, look at your weekly board reports.
Man,
I had to
ain't
get
been
it when
back
he
8
got back.
hours yet, man.
That's right. But because there's I see weekly, there's a
Yes.
considerable amount of positions that
Yes.
just make the community aware, and that you guys, and that we're all trying to do what we can. I know you go
Job
across
fairs.
the country to recruit, but it's very difficult.
It's challenging because we're pulling from the same pool of certified teachers, and now we have competition with Detroit, where their starting salaries are
People don't want to be teachers, and COVID really hurt us.
correct. That, as well as individuals are now resigning from being in education. We're seeing veteran teachers. We're seeing teachers that's been in it for 10 years now resigning and getting out of the field altogether.
Okay. Thank you. That's what I want to hear.
Mhm.
Second line of questioning. Any for the first? No? Okay. Second. Trustee Turpin.
Okay, I think I just need clarity regarding, you make the statement that we're pulling from the same pool. So what distinguishes one substitute company from another, since they're all,
So when I say we're pulling from the same pool, I mean from other school districts. So we have 4 sub companies, but other school districts have those same subs, same companies in their school district. So say for instance, if I have EduStaff in Pontiac, EduStaff covers all of Oakland County. So all those substitute teachers can go into the sub pool and they can be assigned to any school district that they want to
Right.
sub at.
Right.
So that's when I say I'm pulling from the same pool, we're pulling from the same pool from the same company.
and so we are paying them based on the number of employees that they are able to secure for the district.
No, we're paying them based upon us trying to get more subs in the classroom. So we're trying to pay them a higher rate than. say,
No, I'm
for-
talking about the company. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
that's correct.
Yes.
With
We-
the company, we pay them based on,
the number of subs they can
subs that they
provide.
provide
We don't
for
pay
us.
them if they don't
Okay.
provide it.
all right, thank you. I'm
Oh, that's a
sorry.
good one.
Right.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you. We're going to move down to police liaison contract renewal. Superintendent?
All right, I'll turn it over to Mr. Seegers. He has dealt with this contract.
Thank you. Yes, I have dealt with it. So the school liaison unit is responsible for developing and maintaining positive communications and relationships between law enforcement and the school district. Unit members participate on school safety committees and truancy committees, along with giving numerous presentations to students, parents, and school staff. Officers participate in special budgeted programs. These programs include emergency response protocol training, safe school campus initiative, school site safety meetings, truancy reduction programs. School liaison officers also actively participate in police investigations involving school-related crimes. The contract amount is $142,000 on an annualized basis, a modest increase of $8,653 over last year's contract. However, and very importantly, because of a grant from the Oakland County Board of Commissioners, Commissioner Powell specifically, the district will have two officers this year instead of one. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Education approve the agreement for the police school liaison program with the city of Pontiac in an amount not to exceed $142,000. That's great.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions? First round? No questions? That's because y'all believe in the safety of your schools. That's why there's no
We're getting
questions.
2 for 1 with a grant. I like that.
Right.
I am going to, of course, not vote on this, but I'm in support of it. Being a current Oakland County Sheriff Department, I don't know people saying he didn't gave his friends jobs. I could vote on it. It's not a conflict of interest, but in the community that I live in, I've learned to kind of not light as many fires if not possible, right? But when we start talking about safety in the Pontiac School District, thank you to this administration and to our teachers, our students, and our staff for collectively working together to make sure that not just during the pandemic, but some of the unfortunate incidents that's happened around our county, we continue to keep our children safe. And I appreciate that. And I just wanted to publicly say thank you for that. And with Commissioner Powell making this a part of her special project, Commissioner Powell to get us the extra police officer liaison so we can actually start more of a healthy program. We've already been leading in safety, but I think with these program initiatives that's listed here, we can take it a step further. So I appreciate you. Thank you for that.
Next question.
Go ahead.
Weren't you a police liaison at one time?
Oh, that's how I started my
That's
career, and
right.
that's what
That's
got me
right.
sitting in this seat.
I knew that. and I wanted to make a point that
Yeah.
throughout our years, actually, we can recall our liaison officers, even when I was in school, way back in the day, way back. And because they influenced us.
And
It's an important position. You agree?
yeah, and it's and we're gonna I was gonna wait to the discussion to
Okay.
when we get ready to vote on, but we can talk about it now. It's in the state of mind in the country where everything is heightened off of social justice or injustice and things of that nature, and you start talking about prison and pipeline with kids and students, you need school resource officers who are dedicated to students. And that's what they do, SROs. They're student resource officers. And then that just resources when they just get in trouble is resources for them in need.
Right.
In our specific community that we serve in, our kids, some of our kids come with some very difficult troubles. And sometimes those outbursts are handled in our school on a daily basis. And you need someone there that if a kid is going to have an outburst, that they understand why they're having that outburst, not because of something that happened outside of the school. So if an officer who does not generally deal with kids see one of our students outside of school and he has an outburst, he may not have a tendency to have that level of compassion because he don't see that student every day. That's not his job. His job is to enforce the law, not make up the law as you go along. And so when you have a school resource officer and somebody can talk to, a kid have a tendency of waiting. They'll get to the school, they'll call you. And my kids now, I still say my kids, their families I'm dealing, they're 32, 34, 35, 36 years old,
Mhm.
you know, and they have kids that's in our school district.
Mhm.
And so they remember me as a school resource officer. And so that trust, you never forget it. You know, and it's something that goes out through the community. That's the beautiful thing about living and working in the community in the city of Pontiac. And so when we can have school resource officers in our schools just to protect our students and our staff and our property, to do our own investigations. If one of our kids happen to get in trouble, our school resource officer can go to court with them. You know, that's that next level. That's that I know this kid. That's that extra conversation that when they go in front of a judge that a judge don't have. And so when people start talking about justice reform, I want them to start looking at the city of Pontiac and see what we've already done and what we're continuing to do and be that example. And this shows now everybody wants a school resource officer. Now everybody wants the metal detectors. Now everybody wants to figure out what we're doing here in our district. And I'm just grateful to have been a part of that team and that unit, but now to continue to have more, so our youth can see that even if you get in trouble, it's not the end, if that makes sense. And it helps our kids. And I'm specific to Pontiac because that's where I serve. So we're going to move down to action items. Approval of the Energy and Technology Innovation Specialist. I'm going to put in there. What is that? I'm sorry. It's the job description for the approval of the Energy and Technology Innovation Specialist. Need a motion on the floor for that approval?
So move.
So moved by Trustee Bowman.
Support.
Supported by Trustee Davis Smith. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Terry,
Yes.
Trustee Turpin,
Yes.
Vice President Bowman,
Yes.
Treasurer Davis Smith,
Yes.
President Garrett,
Yes.
and I'm voting yes. Action item 2A is approved.
All right. Thank you, sir. We're going to move down to 2B, approval of the substitute teacher source contract renewal. Need a motion?
So move.
So moved by Trustee Hannah.
Support.
Supported by Trustee Bowman. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Terry,
Yes.
Trustee Turpin,
Yes.
Vice President Bowman,
Yes.
Treasurer Davis Smith,
Yes.
President Garrett,
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Hannah,
Yes.
sir, that passed 7-0.
All right. Thank you. We're going to move around to 2C, approval of the police school liaison contract. Need a motion?
So move.
So moved by
Support.
Trustee Davis Smith,
Support.
supported by Trustee Hannah. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Turpin,
Yes.
Trustee Vice President Bowman,
Yes.
Treasurer Davis Smith,
Yes.
President Garrett,
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Hannah
Yes.
and Trustee Terry,
Yes.
sir, 7-0.
All right. Thank you. We're going to move down to curriculum instruction discussion items. Kennedy Art Experience contract renewal. Superintendent?
I will defer to Dr. Eccles.
Thank you, Superintendent. Good evening, Superintendent, President Garrett, trustees, staff members, and community. This evening, administration is bringing before you for both discussion and action, the Art Experience Contract for Art and Music Therapy Intervention at Kennedy Center. This contract will provide weekly sessions of supplementary art and music intervention to Kennedy Center for our 180-day and 200-day program students. Compared to our last year's contract of $93,400, the service will continue at 16 sessions per week for 40 weeks with a $2.17 increase per art session and a $5 increase per music session. The difference in art and music sessions is related to no music materials fee. This decreased for the fiscal year 2023 contract by $7,650. The funding source is both Section 31A and at-risk funds. It is the recommendation of administration that the Board of Education approve the contract with the Art Experience in the amount not to exceed $85,750. Both the contract and the program evaluation is attached to your board packet for your review.
All right. Thank you. Any questions, comments, or concerns from the board? Okay. That art experience, is that going to be housed at Kennedy, correct? They come to Kennedy?
They will be
For the-
virtual for some sessions, and then we're planning right now in the planning stage of having in person. So some will be in person and some will be virtual.
Okay. Any other questions? That was only question. Okay. Hearing none, we move down to action items, approval of the Kennedy Art Experience contract renewal. Need a motion?
So move.
So moved by trustee Gross, supported by trustee Davis Smith.
Got it in, man. Got it in.
Any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call.
Vice President Bowman,
Yes.
Treasurer Davis Smith,
Yes.
President Garrett.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Terry,
Yes.
and Trustee Turner.
Yes.
Sir, pass 7-0.
All right, thank you. Board, I want to go back to action item C, and I would like to change my vote. I voted yes, and I want to have an abstention, please. If you can note that in the records, I appreciate it.
I will. We will do that. That's for 2B, 2AB.
Mhm.
And
C. 2C.
2AC.
2AC, I see.
Mhm.
Yeah, please liaison. Yes, I will say abstain. So it's
Thank
6-0.
That's it.
Officially 6-0, and I'll put
Mhm.
abstain. You got it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, VP. I appreciate that. We're going to move down to communications, petitions, and delegations. This is our first board meeting of the year,
There are none.
and nobody wants to talk to us. Okay. Well, thank you at home. I do read the comments when you do post them at home, so I appreciate it. Thank you. And I'm going to move down to board comments
Bless
and
you.
announcement. Bless you. Ooh, you've been holding that for me. She was struggling back there holding that. We're going to move down to communications, petition. No, I'm sorry, board comments and announcement. We're going to start with Trustee Davis Smith. Hi, ma'am.
Hi, welcome back.
Thank
missed
you.
you.
I know.
This was a great SWIFT meeting and it's good to see everybody. And I can't wait to get into our new school year. I just want to welcome everyone back. Our president had time off, so I know we'll be working hard again. And I just want to tell my trustees, I really appreciate you guys, as well as the superintendent and her staff. You guys always do a great job. I really appreciate you, and I'm always here for you. Thanks. Good night.
All right. Thank you. Trustee Turpin.
Yes. So I really appreciate the police liaison officer. I just maybe we can get a report on our support staff about whether we are fully staffed with our social workers and our counselors, because they say they also the mental health piece of our students. We had COVID, and a lot of them are struggling, and so that affects their behavior and their drive and their whole overall school experience. So I'm hoping that we are able to provide those services to our students. Also, I read an article and it talked about the learning loss, which is universal in the white communities and urban communities. And I'm hoping that we are able to offer rigorous tutoring for our students. A lot of them were behind before COVID, and they're going to be further behind now. That's not any fault of anyone, it's just a reality. And I just hope and pray that we'll be able to provide. I know getting tutors are difficult, just like getting certified teachers, but I think we all realize if they don't get that intensive tutorial, they're not going to be able to catch up and be where they need to be. And I also want to welcome back everybody that's here. I wish those who didn't come back success in wherever they are. Maybe some of them will come back and maybe some of them will not. But, having empathy and compassion, we do want everybody to do well wherever they are. And so I just think, when we talk about the district, we talk about the district as a family. And so everybody matters. You're wanted, you're needed, you are appreciated, you're respected, and we care for you. So I think if we can develop that mindset, that will give more support to everyone, because I think still a lot of people are struggling to get through the day, whatever the reasons are. So I just want to make sure that everybody feels valued and that we support everyone in the district. That includes the staff, the parents, the students, everybody, the janitors, just all of our staff, because we know, this is not a a one-person entity. It involves everybody. So welcome back to our board members. I hope you had a good summer. I did. With that being said, thank everyone for the work that they do and the work that they're going to do in this upcoming school year. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Hannah, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Welcome
I am
back.
great. Good to be back.
Welcome back, trustees. Welcome back to all of our teachers, our students, our admin, and our staff. I'm looking forward to a rewarding school year. I don't have anything else. Just excited to be here.
Okay, that's what's up.
Thank you.
It's a marathon. Trustee Gross, how you doing, sir?
Oh, man, it's good to see you. I'm doing very well.
I'm gonna get that tie when you finish. I mean, you retired and all. You know what I'm saying? You retired over the summer. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm excited every day. It's Saturday every day for me.
Yeah.
I'm not bragging.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Doc, I'm not bragging, am I? You know, I too, I'm going to limit what I have to say, but I do want to say this. Soup, did we have a good time at that convocation? Did we? I am recommending, as the secretary of this board, that we send a video audio tape of our choir to America's Got Talent. And Miss Ryan, who else? All the members of that choir, please stay. No, you don't have to. I don't want it. We got some choir members in here, Mr. President.
Yes. Yeah.
Look, you had folks coming up to superintendent say they were in tears for the beginning of that. I'm not that right. It was beautiful. And if we don't send them to America's Got Talent, doggone it, we can send them to American Idol. Because they didn't sing, they sang. And it was an exciting time. And I even stayed for the whole thing because I had no electricity, so I didn't have nowhere to go.
That's the only reason.
But they made me want to stay, and I stayed. And that was the best. I'm sorry I missed last year. You told me I missed it. But this was fantastic. You guys, they're wonderful. And the guest speaker that we had, I learned a lot. So I'm using some of that at home. And although my wife's still not listening, but I'm still trying to use it at home. He gave me some good communication things. It was an excellent time. And I appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to this fantastic school year. And my brother said it. He said, it's time now to no longer deal with adult issues. We are strictly focusing on the children. This year, that's our goal. So let's do what we need to do to make that happen, no matter how difficult it may appear to be. But something's not as hard as you make it to be if you make it better.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Trustee Terry, man, how you doing? I don't feel
good,
like I've
man.
seen you in forever.
It's been a minute. Vacation's been nice.
Okay, all right, that's good. As long as it's been nice. All right.
Vacation's been nice. Glad to see you back. You know, everything good as well.
It's good to be back on American soil. I will tell you that.
Yes. So once again, good to see everybody. I know it seemed like it's been a minute, but it hasn't been that long since we was last in here. But it's just good to see everybody again and getting back started again for a new school year. So welcome everyone back, the teachers, the students. I know it's probably been a rough week or two getting everything ready and squared away for all the students to return. And I know we're still dealing with some of our maintenance situations, but bear with us, I would say. We're working on that and trying to get everybody back in place where they're supposed to be. But welcome, and let's have an awesome year this year. I'm glad we're still starting off on a positive note. I would say it's always good to come back and, you know, still have those positive motivations, still thinking about the kids and still trying to push the Pontiac School District forward to become that elite school for everyone, to have that example. So once again, thank you. I'm glad to be back, and let's keep grinding it out and making things happen. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Madam Vice President, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm good. Good
Glad to see you. I just would like to say welcome back to our students, Thank you, parents. We know getting up, those of you who have to get up and make that drive or get the little ones to the bus stop, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for superintendent and the staff, and thank you for my board members. Welcome back, everybody. I just want to remind everyone to be mindful of how we treat each other, because everybody has something. Everybody has something going on. Let's just keep that in mind when we treating each other during the day to day, because we all have something. So let's continue to work together. Let's have a positive year, and let's continue to rise Phoenix. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It is good to be back on American soil. It is good to be back in this boardroom. Yes, I did cut my trip short because I wanted to be home for this. And it's nothing like living a life and living your calling at the same time. And so for me, I was excited to get back home, to be amongst my colleagues, to see everybody, and be grateful of what we have. You get an opportunity when you travel, and I'm not just talking about, just outside of your area, to really know how blessed you are when you come back home and you see the work that's being done. And so for me, having those 3 weeks to really kind of unplug and really focus on myself and my beliefs. Like, do I believe what I say I believe? Do I want the experience I say I want? Do I want to accept the challenges that I know comes with being here? And sometimes you got to just go through that checklist. And it was good to go through that checklist. I didn't have a chance to talk to, everybody or check every email or every text or things. Like, I really unplugged. And for me, to come back and emphatically can say that I'm so grateful for this administration, and I'm so grateful for our superintendent. I am so grateful for our superintendent. You don't know what's chasing you until you unplug, I'm grateful for our staff, our team, this team, individually, for what you bring to the table individually. Now, what you do collectively is amazing. And what I challenge you to do this year, don't get stuck in the small stuff. Give us the small stuff. I really want you to, and we're going to speak about this in board governance, and we're going to talk about this in our board retreat, but I want you as individuals to really tap into your superpowers. Like, truly. Like, look at yourself compared to other places, other people. Now, they say don't do that. Oh, what you going to compare yourself for? You're going to compare yourself. You're not comparing you as a person, but what you bring to the table. And we don't celebrate small victories enough. So what we're going to do this year is we're going to start celebrating the small victories. Every board meeting, we're going to have something to celebrate. They can, whoever's saying whatever about us in the back, outside, I don't care. We're going to celebrate the small victories in the boardroom, in our schools, with our kids, with the kids who want to be here, with the parents who want their kids here, with the kids who are coming. We're not going to focus on the people who don't want to be here. There are people who want to be here. There are successful students that's here. They're living great lives. They are moving forward. And yes, we're going to have our challenges, but I'm not talking about challenges this year. We know we got them, right? We got the solutions. We're going to talk about the solutions, and we're going to talk about what we're doing. We're not going to be confused about anything. We're not going to over-exaggerate anything. You know exactly what you're dealing with. You know exactly who you are. You would not be here if you could not be here. If this Board of Education has not proven to the fact that if you don't want to be here, we can help you find another place, but you want to be here because you can be here. You can do what you're doing. You're professionals. And I need the world to see it. So I got an announcement in about a couple weeks. My board don't even know this. I just found out on my way coming back that we're going for that national spotlight. And I don't care what nobody else say that we can't do and what we can't achieve. I'm not worried about our surrounding districts and all these other places, school districts and all that. We're going for a national spotlight. That's the goal. The goal is the national spotlight. That's going to start with our superintendent. That's going to start with each and every one of your departments, because you have things that you've brought to the table that's not happening in other districts. We need to get that out, because other people who look like you and I, other people who have these same issues, other people who work like you and I, they having these issues. They're having these issues, and they need you. They need you to walk them through that. And if we just keep you all to ourselves and we never explain what we're doing in Pontiac, then what's the use of doing this? What are we doing it? We can't be doing it just for our 4,000 students, because our 4,000 students, they're showing out. Like, people are talking about Pontiac School District. So every agenda item is going to have something of celebration. Every agenda item in every area is not easy doing what you've done. And we're going to celebrate that. We're going to celebrate ourselves. Can we do that? Can we be okay with that? Can we be okay with being who we are? And it's not easy being a leader, because everybody want to bite at your ankles. So how about we just go, okay, puppy. That's what I tell my little puppy. Okay, you biting. Okay. But we're not going to focus on the biting on the ankles. We're not, okay. We're just going to say, okay. Right? So great start of the school year. The text messages, the inboxes, the claps, the convocation, to my colleagues, to my trustees, what you guys are doing outside of this board and the conversations that you're having is simply amazing. We will celebrate you individually. We're going to encourage you to keep bringing who you are to this table. And we're going to welcome people to the table. But the people who come to the table, hear me clearly, you will be at the standard of the people who are already at this table. It's a standard. We're not dummying down ourselves no more. We ain't ducking nothing or nobody. So appreciate everybody for home for joining us for this short meeting, but this is a marathon. We're going to have more to come. We're going to have some more celebrations. You're going to get tired of us. You're going to comment. You're going to do a lot of things for us. Look at Trustee Davis Smith, like, right, more to come. Yes, we do. Need a motion on the floor to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Support.
So moved by Trustee Vice President Bowman. So moved, supported by Trustee David Smith, the treasurer, long-term sister, friend. Thank you for supporting me through everything. For her support. Roll call, Mr. Secretary.
Yes, sir. Treasurer David Smith.
Yes.
President Garrett.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Hannah.
Yes.
Trustee Terry.
Yes.
Trustee Turpin.
Yes.
And VP Bowman.
Yes.
Sir, 7-0 in your time.
The time is, I don't know what time. Listen, bro, I don't even know what day it is sometimes. 6:49. I'm a whole day behind. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm a whole day
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah,
Yes.
you still over in
It's
Europe.
right. 6:49. Thank you at home. Thank you, Mr. Frank. Appreciate you. Good night. Good evening.
I'm copying your email. Yeah. You saw the email in the class, elementary class. Yeah. I mean, we basically got our election numbers, so. But, you know, I did confirm that, they're going through this thing with the company, sold it to us. They didn't want to pay for the fixes. Yeah, they want to pay half. So they pushed back and pay the whole thing.